Hi there, welcome back. Well, we're cooking one time and we're making the whole week's worth of meals. I love to do that. It's really what I do to keep me sane during the week on those crazy busy days. So I roasted up a whole bunch of boneless, skinless chicken breasts, which is something I do often. Or maybe I'll just brown a whole bunch of ground beef and turn that into 3 different things. You get the idea. So anyway, with those chicken breasts, I made the most wonderful, easy chicken enchiladas, one of my family's favorites. And then I have in the oven these warm chicken crescent sandwiches that are just about to come out. And one more thing that I usually do when I roast up a bunch of chicken is make some sort of a soup. And so we're going to keep it simple and make something that my kids love. And I'm going to do homemade chicken noodle soup, and it just doesn't get much better than that. If somebody's feeling blue or down, this is the thing to cheer them up. So I'm starting with a little bit of butter, or if you wanted to keep it nice and light, you could do olive oil. But my mom, you know, when I was growing up as a kid, they didn't use olive oil, so my mom would always just use a little bit of butter to saute her onions and celery. And it kind of all works out if you're having one big cooking day, because, you know, while some things come together a little quick, others take a little longer. So, you know, well, I can get the onion sauteing and then move on to the enchiladas and then move on to the filling for the chicken sandwich. It all just works out great, and then makes cleanup a breeze too. So I really love that method of doing things. Carve out one day and that's your cooking day. All right, so I've got some celery, and my mom always did in her homemade chicken noodle soup, onions, celery, and carrot. And I like to leave it in nice big chunks, because it just looks better and tastes so good. And then actually my kids can pick out some of those vegetables they don't want if they're nice and big and chunky. They just like the noodles and the chicken and the broth. And I can kind of sneak some of the onion in there. So I just want to saute the onion and the celery and the carrot just until it gets a little soft. Now I've got on the burner here some egg noodles that are just boiling. And I'm just about to drain those. I always cook those separately rather than cook them in the soup, because they tend to hog up the broth, if you know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to go ahead and give those a quick drain. These are just ordinary, inexpensive egg noodles. Sometimes I'll use those wonderful Amish noodles, but definitely don't overcook them. Don't overcook the noodles. Nobody likes mushy chicken noodle soup. And this is just always the way my mom did it. My mom always cooked the noodles separately too. I know some people throw them right in there, and if that works for you, that's great. But I love to cook soup on one of my cooking days, because that's one of those things where I can come home for a quick lunch and heat up a cup of soup. I can send my husband Bob off with a few to-go containers, you know, pack up a few Tupperware containers. And soup is just one of those things. It's already done. You just need to heat it up in the microwave. So on one of those really crazy busy nights, if I've made the soup, it makes everybody happy. All right, so I'm just sauteing, trying to get a little bit soft the vegetables. They'll continue to cook as the soup continues to cook. And I want to season them up, because my mom always used some garlic salt in here and some black pepper. So I'm going to do what Mom did. My other big secret these days is, man, those kids come home from school and they are starving. If they smell something really good in the house that's cooking, let's say I made this soup on Sunday, but I've got it simmering, and they come in from school, and I've got some nice warm bread, some crescent rolls. They're like, Mom, what is it that smells so good? And man, they come right to the table and they gobble it up. If your house smells great, they tend to be a little less picky. And if they come home from school and they're really, really hungry, they're going to eat it. So I've just started doing that, you know, make the house smell really good when they walk in, and seems that they'll eat whatever I'm making. And I like that. All right, so I'm going to add some chicken broth. And just, you can use the canned or the boxed. Just going to add that in here. I've got my roasted chicken. A couple of cups of that. Great way to use up leftovers. A little bit of thyme. And I'm just going to let that simmer. And when we come back from the break, I'm going to throw the noodles in here and garnish it with some parsley, and soup's on. All the recipes we did today you'll find on our website. And I'll be right back to wrap things up. So stay with us.